Wow. On June 3rd of 2021, the 3080 Ti launched. On June 2nd, the day before, the embargo's lifted and I was pouring through all the reviews. And then I saw this one.
Should you spend your money on an RTX 3080 Ti? Well, if you can get one at MSRP, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I was pissed. Let's talk about this. Hey friends, it's me, Axial GT. Now in this video I am going to describe and explain why Nvidia hates you as a gamer. But I will get to Linus toward the end of the video. And I'm sure you're going to want to stay around for that. People that know me know that I'm a pretty straight shooter. I tell things like it is. I don't have to sugarcoat things. Sometimes it gets me in trouble, sometimes it doesn't, but so be it. If I had feelings they'd be hurt, but I don't. But I've also been known to cuss like a sailor in real life, and I know YouTube doesn't appreciate that. I could say things that would fry bacon, but I have to keep it pretty calm here. So I will do my best to keep my language on point, but no promises. And if you go on to enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for future Axial GT content. I really appreciate your support. With that out of the way, let's get started. Okay, just so everybody's on the same page and help me prove my point, I'm going to do a little history lesson. This will be brief and it won't take long. Okay, here I've compiled a list of all the modern TI models and their non-TI counterparts, going all the way back to Kepler, which is the GTX 780. I think that was back in 2013-2014, but go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, it released for $649 MSRP. When the TI model came, it was $50 more, and you could expect around 10 to 18% uplift in performance depending on your resolution and production load. Then comes Maxwell, the GTX 980. The MSRP was $549, and the TI model coming in at $100 more at $649, 10 to 20% faster than the non-TI model, again depending on what you were doing. Then we had Pascal, GTX 1080 and the 1080 Ti, again only $100 difference in between the two, with on average a 10 to 20% uplift. Then comes Turing, RTX 2080, MSRP $699. Then the RTX 2080 Ti at $999 MSRP, still with the same 10 to 15% uplift in performance. And same goes for the RTX 3080 when Nvidia released their Ampere architecture. The MSRP $699. And now with the latest launch, the RTX 3080 Ti, $1,199 MSRP, with 8 to 11% performance uplift. Do you see the pattern here? But this here is what I think really happened. We have to actually look at when the 1080 Ti launched. Right after it launched, that's when crypto mining took its first big boom. And if you didn't get the TI model at launch, you're not going to pay the MSRP of $699. That's when those prices increased to $1,000 or more. And I know that's actually when Jensen said, holy shit, they're actually buying these cards for those prices. That's why when the 2080 Ti released, the MSRP was $1,000. It wasn't because it took $300 more to manufacture. It's just because Jensen knew gamers were paying those prices. Now, was the 2080 Ti worth $1,000? No, it wasn't. It was a cash grab by Nvidia because they saw what happened and what people were paying with the 1080 Ti. In my opinion, the 2080 Ti should have been an $800 to $850 card, not $1,000. And same goes for the 3080 Ti. It should have been no more than $850. That's why I said Nvidia hates you. So no. In my mind, Jensen is not all about the gamer. As a matter of fact, I would hate to have to feed this man at a business dinner, because I would actually have to buy him 2 plates of food, one for each face. The face he portrays to the gamer, saying, we love gamers. We're all about the gamers. Then there's his investor calls, where he's proud of the fact that they are upselling their graphics cards, meaning that they're selling like 60 series for 70 series prices, and so on. Now I know it sounds like I'm just railing on Nvidia, but AMD is in the same boat. The only big difference here is AMD is playing catch up, and they are the sheep in this scenario. They're just following Nvidia's lead, and just trying to undercut them just a little bit. And to the people who want to say, Axial, you have to look at inflation. Okay, I'll look at inflation. Between 2017 and 2021, inflation has risen 8.9%. So the $700 for the 1080 Ti would be worth $762 in today's money. So no, that does not equal $1,000 or $1,200 for a graphics card. And for some reason, somebody did ask me about this guy.
The GeForce RTX 3080 Ti is our...
Who doesn't seem to know what graphics card he's actually talking about. So either he's a huge Star Wars fan, or
RTX 3080 Ti is our...
he's a clueless suit that's reading a script. So yeah, I'd go with clueless suit reading a script. But after all this, I'll admit that this is only my opinion. And I know that opinions are like these. Everybody has one. So go ahead and write your opinions in the comments below. I read all of them. Now for the second part of this video, I'm going to talk about Linus's review of the 3080 Ti. And I'll use his own words, so there's no confusion. Here goes. Meet Linus from Linus Tech Tips and multiple other YouTube channels. Founder and CEO of Linus Media Group.
Somebody grab him some clippers. His fucking beard is weird.
Okay, so I'm just kidding. I still can't get used to Linus having a beard. I still remember him like this. But anyway, I digress. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, when I first heard Linus say this...
Should you spend your money on an RTX 3080 Ti? Well, if you can get one at MSRP, it's a no-brainer.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing, thinking he can't read the room like he's from another fucking planet. But then it dawned on me. I know where he went wrong with his video of the 3080 Ti. And it starts with the 3090. Let's go back to the 3090 review, and I'll show you what I mean.
That puts the 3090 squarely in prosumer / enthusiast territory. So like super high-end gamers, content creators, and especially 3D modelers are gonna love it. Which isn't a bad thing, it's just a niche thing.
And as we all know, the 3080 Ti is just a cut down version, minorly cut down version, of the 3090. The main difference in between the two is the minus 12 gigabytes of VRAM, 3090 having 24, 3080 Ti having 12. So when Linus starts off his video of the 3080 Ti review,
I've got something new, gamers.
He's really not talking to all of us. He's only talking to the high-end enthusiast level, the people who wanted a 3090. Now, if he would have clarified that in the very beginning, things would have been a little bit different. But he didn't. The video came across as for the rest of us gamers. That's where I think he messed up. Now, it's my opinion that the 3090 is a workstation card, kind of like the Titan was. And even in Linus's review of the 3090, it's a niche card. It's not for your average everyday gamer. So yes, he's right. If you can get a 3080 Ti, since all it is a cut down 3090, at MSRP, yes, it's a no-brainer. But that's not how it come across. The video was actually come across as for the rest of us gamers. So anyway, in the conclusion of his 3080 Ti review, this is what he should have said. If you're in the market for a workstation card at a cheaper price, or maybe you're a content creator or extreme enthusiast, get the 3080 Ti because it's a no-brainer. It's $300 less of MSRP. But for everybody else, I would not recommend this card. I would stay with the 3080 because there's only an 8 to 12% uplift in performance with the 3080 Ti over the 3080. But the 3080 Ti costs $500 more. That's 71%. For those people, I would not recommend this card. See, that would have been a lot more accurate. And I would bet he wouldn't have got near the backlash that he did. But that's not what he said. Now, he did address some of this in his WAN show, but he did come across more of butthurt than anything.
Both of those cards, the 3080 and the 3090, do use a GA102 GPU, but they are not entirely the same.
Now, it could be wrong, but I don't think that is 100% accurate. The GA102 chip, when it first enters its fabrication process, they are all the same. Changes are made during and after fabrication. At least that's my understanding of it.
And in fact, if you are a price-sensitive buyer, I would go as far as to say that you should not be shopping for a top-tier, absolute, highest spec GPU. Which to me, this is. It matches the performance of the 3090.
Now, putting the scalping and the second-hand market situation aside for one moment, what you're saying is if you're a poor person, you probably shouldn't be looking at a top-tier card. Which, I can kind of agree to that. But I will also point to my first part of this video. Cards should not be priced where they are anyway. Having a card that's 8 to 12% faster does not justify a $500 premium. But I will cut Linus some slack here. That wasn't all his fault. That was every reviewer on YouTube. When the 2080 Ti came out, as I pointed out in the beginning of this video, nobody said dick. So it does kind of make you wonder, who's running who here? And now that the 3080 Ti has come out, priced exactly the same way or similarly to the 2080 Ti, with such a high premium, with such little performance gain, kind of makes you wonder if it's too late now, because nobody said anything in the beginning. And yes, admittedly, it pisses me off. I saw it when it was happening. How come nobody else does? Especially big bad tech reviewers. Anyway, moving on.
But Nvidia's manufacturer suggested retail prices are sort of a big load of bullshit.
Now he goes on here to say that Nvidia doesn't manufacture anything, which is true. And MSRP as of late, yes, is bullshit. It doesn't mean anything. But the original premise for the MSRP, yes, did mean something. And Nvidia does have bean counters just like every other industry. And if they set the MSRP too low, the AIB partners will get pissed because they can't meet that number. It's only as of late that the AIB partners are raising their prices unfettered and unchecked, with Nvidia not saying a word, trying to profit off the cryptocurrency craze. So Linus here is only partially right, not 100%.
Now, Gamers Nexus's take is that the MSRP difference is comparable to the RTX 3080s at the time of launch, and that scalping will scale accordingly. But that's not typically how it works in the secondhand or in the secondary market. So, I mean, I know a thing or two about shopping for used GPUs. We've now done, what is it, 8 Scrapyard Wars or something along those lines?
Really? That's his argument? Because he's done Scrapyard Wars. He knows a thing or two about the used GPU market. Maybe he should actually try talking to the poor gamers that he mentioned earlier, because I'm one of them. And I think actually what Steve is saying is it scales accordingly, because Nvidia has already set the bar. And he's right, it does. And he might want to talk to Hardware Unboxed because they've actually been tracking this. So anyway, again, moving on.
Now let's talk about, whether the $700 MSRP RTX 3080 actually even exists. So here's some ASUS MSRPs as of March.
Time out. We're not talking about AIB board partner cards. We're talking about Founders Editions or Nvidia cards. That's where the MSRPs are going to be. We already know the AIB partner cards are going to be priced outrageously. So this is a non-argument.
So there's a couple more things here. Riley has a really good note in that budget gamers frustrated by more freaking high-end cards are certainly justified in being frustrated. I mean, totally. It's very clear from the launch of, the RX 6600? What's the mobile? Yeah, the RX 6600 mobile that AMD just launched. It's clear that AMD had a mainstream GPU that was developed, and they just, never released a desktop product based on it.
Now, out of everything he's said in his WAN show and previous reviews that we've been talking about, this is what he and I do agree upon. People should be pissed and frustrated that there's no low-end parts. And all I can really say about that is if all the reviewers that we've had previously on previous generations, especially the 2080 Ti, which was outrageously priced that everybody seemed to be pushing real hard, maybe during this launch, we might have seen lower-end parts. But probably too late for that now. I actually think that ship has sailed. And that's just due to Nvidia and AMD greed. Because the margins are higher on top tier parts.
And I'm sorry, and that sucks. And we really are actually doing something about it. We're trying. Verified Actual Gamer program has put cards in gamers' hands at MSRP. We did everything we possibly could.
What you want, a cookie?
Now that there was actually meant as a joke. Because actually his verified gaming program is actually a good program, and I applaud him. That was good, but I couldn't help but just throw in a little tension breaker.
Don't imagine for a second that I'm somehow on NVIDIA's payroll here, or that I'm somehow cozy with NVIDIA. That's actually not the way it works.
Now I actually don't think Linus is on anybody's payroll, or NVIDIA's payroll anyway, or AMD's. But I will show you why people actually think that. He'll see this and know why people actually think that. Take a look at this.
Today for you, ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege, nay, the honor of being the first outside of NVIDIA to experience 8K gaming on this LG ZX Series 88-inch OLED gaming grade TV.
When somebody sends you $30,000 to $40,000 TVs, you must be in their good graces. So that's why people think that. But I also know that's the name of the game. Now he does go on a little bit later, saying that the 3080 at MSRP, again, did not exist. It never did exist. Well, here you go. It exists. Is it out of stock? Yes, but it still exists. But I think it's time we wrap this video up. I think it's gone on long enough. And a personal note to Linus, even though I know he'll probably never see this because I'm little YouTuber nobody. But that's okay. Linus, I do enjoy your stuff and the content you make. I just think the wording on your 3080 Ti review should have been just a little bit different. And again, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. This is just my opinion. But again, my friends, since we are wrapping this up, don't forget about my worldwide giveaway. Link is in the description below, and you guys tell me your thoughts. Type that in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for future Axial GT content. I really do appreciate you watching. And until next time, my friends, I am out of here. You all have a good one.